Hello there, everyone. Zantok here with Supercast Brothers, the podcast where we podcast. And I try to just survive Jonno's Jonnoisms that he likes to throw at me every time. We are here. It's Smashtopia. We're making a moveset here today. We're going to be talking about the what-o do's and what-o don'ts of a character that we'll get into when we get to that character. It's you know who it is. I don't need to play coy about it. It's a thing. We're making it happen. Jonno's being oddly silent. He has a Waddle Dee amiibo. I have Callie and Marie amiibos. I think I win. Are we just okay? The Guardian, you know that's a good one to pop out there. But let me just add in Marina and Pearl. How about that? Yeah, what you got? What you got? You got Yarn Yoshi and Yarn Poochie? I don't think I need Yarn Poochie. Alright, well fine. How about I get some Octolings? How about this? Huh? See, all of mine, I haven't had to get out of my chair to get. He has to get out of his chair. Alright, there's Ocarina Link. I've got... Oh. Bye, Marina. She has fallen, and she can't get up. Unfortunately, she does not have Life Alert to help her out.
Future sponsor, maybe?
Do what?
Future sponsor, maybe?
Maybe if we get to, like, season 90. Or whatever. Nah, we'd be dead. We're not making it to season 90. It'd be like, what, season 40? I think that's more likely. Season 40, where we'll be in our 70s or 60s. One of the two. Maybe both. I don't know.
No.
Anyway,
Wow.
It's Smashtopia time. We're making a character. We're talking about Bandana Dee today, a popular Kirby choice. Widely considered the fourth playable character in the Kirby franchise. But before we can get to that, as we always do, well, since last season, that is, not really always, we've got some showcases to go for. Some things that we put on the Smashtopia Wiki off the podcast that, we just want to shine a spotlight on. So, Jonno, what do you have for us today? What showcase do you got for us? That's Waddle Dee.
Yes, it is. Yes, on the Smashtopia Wiki today, there's something that I submitted which I would like to share with the class, and I will do so. It is a variation of one of our favorite plumbers that in video games,
Cat
named
Mario?
Waluigi.
Oh.
No, bus driver Waluigi from Mario Kart Tour as a spirit. Yeah.
Bus driver Waluigi. What the fuck is that?
I like when he wears the Argyle. It's very holiday forward, very chic. Good look for Waluigi. And
like Zelda, but okay.
yeah, he's quite a lovable guy. I think that he would be a very worthy tour guide. And he would take us to all the best stops in Berlin. And I think that's why I wanted to honor him with this spirit. So in Mario Kart Tour, you can play as Waluigi. Oh, and he's also touring you through London, not Berlin. Whoops, I got my Wave 3 Mario Kart 8 DLC mixed up. Anywho, imagine this. You're fighting on a Final Destination style version of New Donk City Hall, because it's very metro. And you have Waluigi. And it's also very foggy and dark, so it's like London. In case you're wondering why we didn't do New Donk City Hall.
Wow! I mean, you could have done Bonneton. Which, isn't that very British inspired, kind of?
I think so.
I made a Bonneton stage years ago. You could have used that. It even has a fog mechanic.
That's true. That's true. Waluigi will be in his orange plumbing gear per the orange outfit that we gave him on our podcast, actually. Sure. Assist trophies and Pokeballs will have a higher drop rate than normal and will spawn the likes of other drivers such as Cap'n. So it'll be very exciting. Yeah, I agree. And Waluigi also, he's driving a bus, and technically he's a bus driver, so when he runs into you, he will damage you just by dashing into you. And that's the kind of that.
Okay. You know what this reminds me of? Before we had all the DLCs for Ultimate revealed, there are people who were joking about it, like, yeah, we can get Waluigi as the final character, and then the entire spirit board is just different Waluigis. So you could have Bus Driver Waluigi, you could have Mario Tennis Waluigi, you could have Waluigi in one of the carts from Mario Kart. It's like just different Waluigi arts for the whole spirit board. It's like, that's so ridiculous that I love it.
Yes, please.
Yes. All right.
That's my contribution today.
Okay. Well, you did something arguably humorous, so I think I'll counter with something arguably humorous. In fact, this one has a story behind it. I give you bath time.
Okay.
From Nintendogs.
Oh. Woof, woof, woof.
Yes. Now, here's the story behind this. You mentioned in a previous episode that I had said that you did something that I had to fix.
Yeah.
This is that. See, here's what happened. You've uploaded the living room stage from Nintendogs on the wiki. You even made your own Nintendogs Park stage back in our Stages Showcase episode in Season 2.
Yeah.
And you included all the music that Nintendogs has in Smash on those two stages. Except for one. You didn't include one of the bath time tracks.
Darn.
There are 3 tracks called Bath Time in Smash Ultimate. There's Bath Time, which was the remix from Smash 4. Bath Time, which is the remix from Ultimate. And then Bath Time, Vocal Mix, which is the Smash 4 remix, but with vocals. And you did not have one of those on the stages. And I'm the person that's like, man, I have a whole fucking document telling me what music is on the stages on the wiki and what's been used on stages on Smash Ultimate in previous games. And eventually, I want to have all those assigned to a stage on the Smashtopia wiki, whether it's the stage they've debuted on or not. And you didn't have bath time. It's like, motherfucker, fine, I'll do it myself. And so I have. That is why.
A lot like a guest that we had on recently.
Yes.
Yes,
so
precisely.
I have made this stage, and we can see here, I have the layout drawn. You are literally fighting in a bathtub. The water is just like water mechanics, and the stage is like pirate ship. There's 2 little ledges on the far left and right that you can fight on top of. But then it's just like, there's just stuff in the bathtub. There could be a little toy boat, a big old pile of bubbles, a bar of soap, a rubber duck. And you can fight on top of these things. But, character weights can cause issues. You put 3 Bowsers on top of the rubber duck's not going to want to stay afloat. It's a rubber duck. Why do you think it would stay afloat with 3 Bowsers on top of it? Come on.
Because you're dumb.
Yes. Let's see. What are the things I need to mention? They could also, I only have those 4 things drawn in the picture, but you could see, bottles of shampoo. There could be sponges, little brushes for cleaning the dog's fur. It could be just, some other things that happen on there. The bubbles can sometimes, form bridges in between items, and the bubbles can be attacked and destroyed, kind of like those little blocks on the Brinstar stage, that when you break them, the stage just kind of goes into. So that can be fought on top of that. Yes, yeah, and the flesh string, too, that will sit on the platform and go...
Good times.
Yeah. Some of those platforms are you kind of drift through the water, kind of go left, right a little bit, depending on like how the water is just bouncing the stage, or some like character movements on top of the platforms. And that's it. In the background of the stage, fighters could see a dog or a cat being washed by their owner, but those luckily do not have an effect on the battle because that'd be ridiculous. And that's bath time. Yeah, I when you did
Nice.
that, and I was just like, boy, why? Why did you forget this one of music? I hate you for doing that. I gotta fix this shit now, and I did it.
I liked this bathtub.
It's
Sudsy.
Listen, I am not an artist. Okay.
No. If you put the Bowsers all on the duck would start eating water.
Well, maybe you could post that for your duck seeding thing.
That's what I was getting to, yeah. There's a number of other potential Nintendo stages that I'm getting just from the music tracks that you've posted here. So
yeah. I mean, some of those
it.
places like the Kennel or Cafe Petrov Bark. I've never played Nintendo, so I don't know if those are just menus, kind of like the shops in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. How they're just menus. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
I haven't played the games, but I looked up images and you're like, hey, there's actually a mini game where you give your pet a bath. So it's like, let's go. Let's make bath time happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do it. And you did.
I did.
Let's wash those animals.
Let's wash those butts.
That too, especially Bowser's.
And then we compose a haiku.
Yes.
Wrong game. That's Ghost of Tsushima. There's so much samurai butt in that game, I swear to God.
Yeah, I was going to say it's that rather literal reference. And then, yes, it's true. I wonder if there's ever a Murasame Castle. Okay, anyway.
Murasame Castle remake, crossover DLC, Gen Sakai.
Okay. It's never going to happen, but okay. That's fine by me.
And he fights Takamaru.
Yeah.
And kills him.
Oh. Well, I mean, that sounds a lot like one of the canon endings.
They team up to fight a alien possessing Lord Shimura.
There you go.
And kill him.
Oh. Topical, yes. Yes, indeed.
All right. What's your next showcase?
Oh, yeah, we're still doing this.
We are.
Much like these amiibo, which I like to think speak when I'm not in the room.
I mean, there could be a story about that.
There could be.
Amiibo story. Figure story.
They do have
we'll figure out a title.
A friend in us, regardless. There's mannequins that live within the village.
The first episode of the rebooted Doctor Who had, the automatons, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or automatons.
And Resident Evil Village had the Beneviento dollhouse.
That's right, it did, and it was creepy.
It was just really creepy.
Yeah. Resident Evil Village is very creepy.
Mm-hmm. Especially with what was lurking in the basement, which is not what we're going to be talking about today. Thankfully. Although it may be another submission in the future. Noting my Witcher-related content on the Smashtopia wiki, it may not be... yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know where that's going.
Yep. With that being said, this is one of the new villains in... new enemies, rather, in the Shadow of Rose DLC. The third-person additional content in Resident Evil Village released just a couple months ago. I didn't play it myself, but I did catch a Let's Play of it because it's fairly short, and I wanted to see... Nice. I wanted to... Yeah, oh, so you saw all of the...
Yeah, I know what we're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. But there's a sidebar, Rosemary Winters. Good character potential for a game like Smash.
I think she's going to be the next playable character in Resident Evil 9. I think it's her.
Good timing then if Resident Evil 9 comes out around the same time as Smash 6 and they want to do a DLC or something.
There will be
better
outrage
than some of the other choices.
if it's not Leon, Chris, or Jill. There will be outrage.
Yep. Well, I guess they can just eat my mold then. Very topical to Resident Evil Village. Anywho, the living mannequin from the Beneviento dollhouse
Dear
One
God.
that supposedly was modeled after Rose's mom, which I didn't realize until reading on the wiki later on. So makes it even a little bit creepier. It follows her around the dollhouse while sorting out puzzles and whatnot, and trying to figure out a way out. And they have glowing eyes and just stand in all sorts of jaunty poses because they're mannequins and they're just kind of disturbing.
Yeah.
And if they catch you, they'll suck your soul out of your body and kill you. I mean, just little things, right? So this enemy functions similarly kind of to a re-dead when it catches you. It'll hug you and sap the life out of you, equating to 5% damage per second for several seconds. And if they hold on to you for too long, you can consider your soul sucked out for better or worse. And you'll follow the ground for several seconds like you would if you were hit by Ryu's focus attack, for instance.
You essentially made a modern version of the Re-Deads from Melee.
Yeah. With the added bonus of them just jauntily moving around, only following you when your back's turned towards them, and they are running at you instead of slowly moving around like the Re-Dead. So just slightly more terrifying.
But they still move with that kind of jaggedy.
Yeah. Yes, they do. And that's that.
All right. There's another game that I've seen something very similar to that. But I mean, it's not like this is a fresh, new kind of idea of like how the living mannequins work in that game. Because like, hey, Weeping Angels from Doctor Who, one of the SCPs in SCP does that kind of thing. When I was watching Curb Walker stream, the only game he's ever streamed, the new Five Nights at Freddy's game, there's a section where you're going through like maintenance tunnels or something, and there are exoskeletons that have the glowing eyes. They only move when you're not looking at them, and they are very fast when they start coming at you. And it's that same kind of jerky movement sound. It's like, holy shit. And it's a section where like there's this hallway, there's like 10 of them, and it's like, oh, good fucking luck, man. Good fucking luck, you're fucked. It's like, Jesus. Shit's creepy.
Good. That's pretty good. Oh, and per your comment on Resident Evil characters, the world will be mad if it's not Chris, Leon, or Jill. I will personally be mad if it's not Jill or Leon.
Yeah, I don't really care about Chris.
Chris, just stay over there.
What if it's Wesker?
It's okay. Yes, but I have accepted long ago that will not happen.
Happening. Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
So like that said, like I think doing one of like Chris, Leon, Jill representing like the classic games, and then Rose could represent kind of the more recent modern era. I think that would actually work fairly well.
Yeah, why not?
And
we already have Cloud and
with Rose, you can do a character that doesn't just have guns because she's got her whole mold shit going on.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, who else are gonna have Who else are gonna use Lady Dimitrescu? Please.
Some people would.
Some people would. And those people need to go talk to a therapist.
Isn't she in Dead by Daylight now?
No, actually, she's not.
Oh, who is?
The first chapter added in Nemesis as the killer, and then Leon and Claire as the characters, and then Leon and Claire got costumes that turned them into Chris and
Jill.
No, that's right. It's not Leon and Claire. It's Leon and Jill, and Jill's outfit turns her into Claire. That's what it is.
Okay.
And then later on, Leon also got an outfit that turns him into Carlos from RE3. And then they had a second Resident Evil chapter recently that added Wesker as a killer, and the new characters are Rebecca and Ada Wong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot better than Lady Dimitrescu. So.
I mean, Dimitrescu would work as a Nemesis character swap fairly well. It might be a little awkward, but I think it'd work for the most part.
Yeah.
But it's a shame that they added in the character like as Chris and Claire to just be skins on Leon and Jill because if they knew that they were going to do a second chapter, that's who we would have gotten for the second chapter as characters. It would not have been Ada and Rebecca. It would have been Chris and Claire, easily. Yeah,
absolutely.
But oh well.
Oh well.
All right.
That's what happens around here.
It is. We got one more showcase to do, And I think this is going to be the very first time where none of our showcases are characters.
Okay, cool.
I think it is. I could be wrong, but I think this is the first time. So my second showcase is going to be a boss submission. King Hippo from Punch-Out. He's here. Now, funny thing about King Hippo, I had made him. I made a boss submission out of him several years ago. But then earlier this year, I had the idea. I was like, "Hey, I should make a King Hippo submission." And it was only when I was getting ready to post him on the weekend that I found out, oh, I did this already years ago. Oops. Yeah, like I made him in 2017, so I forgot. 5 years later, I forgot that I did that. So I ended up just taking the old version and the new, kind of like comparing what I'd done for each, and was like, all right, let's just merge these two ideas because I put all this work into it. I'm not just gonna trash this shit. So King Hippo fights uniquely compared to traditional bosses in Smash Brothers, where they're these big things. They have these set patterns, and they have this large health bar that goes across. King Hippo is actually going to fight kind of like a playable character would. He can run, he can jump, not very well, and he has on like a flat, grounded stage, like of the majority, like several of the boss fights, kind of like the arena that you fight Rathalos on in World of Light. It's just that flat plane. So it's like you're essentially fighting him into a flat plane boxing ring.
Nice.
King Hippo will. That said, even though he fights like a character, you can't really knock him out through like knocking him past the stage limits. He takes an extremely minor amount of knockback from attacks and just can't go through the blast zones. Like the walls of the screen are the walls for him, kind of like King of Fighters Stadium. He cannot go past them. He also functions similar to his appearance in the Punch-Out games, where at random points of the match, he's going to pause his attacks to laugh and taunt at the player. This would then cause his belly to jiggle and his pants to fall. Because that's what happens in Punch-Out. He laughs and his pants fall, and they reveal Smash Brothers themed underwear underneath them. King Hippo's then have to take a couple seconds to pull his pants back up, which leaves him very vulnerable to attacks. So he's not the smartest guy around.
No.
Additionally, King Hippo has considerably less health than most of the bosses. So you might be thinking, okay, he seems like a kind of a joke so far, and you know what? Fair enough. That said, it's all a ruse. When King Hippo's health is brought down to 0, he'll fall into his back bruised before standing back up and duct taping a giant manhole cover to his chest. Welcome to Phase 2. The manhole will reduce all damage that King Hippo takes from attacks on his stomach by an extreme amount. However, the manhole can take enough damage, and once it does, it will fall off, and King Hippo will go back to his normal defense stats that he had in Phase 1. Also, while the manhole's attached to his pants, or attached to him, his pants cannot fall. They're duct taped up. But he will still take his chance to taunt opponents from time to time. So you can still take a little bit of advantage of that. As for his attacks, he has a few. He's got a simple jab. It's just very fast and hits hard. He's got his guillotine punch, where he'll scream at his opponent before winding up and punching forwards with gusto as he slams his fist towards their torso. But he's just trying to do a big old gut punch. It's just got some wind up to it, so you can kind of tell what's going to happen. That said, if you don't get out of the way, you fall to a crumple state like Ryu's focus attack. He's also got Hippo Squeeze, where he will grapple forwards, and if he can reach you, it's basically a giant bear hug, as he just pulls you into his chest and tries to just choke the life out of you. It hurt. It hurt. He's got Hippo Flop, which, while I said his jumping skills suck, this one's a little bit better. It's basically a gigantic belly flop. He goes up, he flops down. And there's a little shockwave that fires off once he lands. He can charge forwards, duck his head down, and do a charging attack forwards, running to the opposite side of the screen, try to knock you down. It's actually one of his most deadly attacks, considering he's going to be going to the opposite side of the screen. So while he can't get knocked out to the blast zones, you still can. So maybe don't get hit by that.
That would be smart.
Yeah. He's got Ear Clap, which will have him to growl, hold up both his fists before he claps them in front of himself, kind of doing a bit of a Hulk clap attack there. He's got a wind box to it so he can push it back. And then his final attack, his best attack, his most powerful, is the Star KO, a classic from Punch-Out.
Yeah.
This attack can only be used by King Hippo when his opponent is at 100% damage or more. He's going in for the kill. A star icon will appear by King Hippo's portrait, indicating that this attack is now available, and that players should watch out. King Hippo will only use this attack when a fighter is within his melee range. It's kind of like his version of Little Mac's Star KO, Knockout Punch, whatever. When his standard special has that meter thing, and he can do that uppercut, it's basically that. So with the Hippo-like snort, King Hippo will go for an uppercut, and if it connects, the move will knock the fighter up above the blast zones and into a guaranteed Star KO. Yes, this is a boss insta-kill. He is easier to kill than other bosses, but he can fuck you up. That said, King Hippo can only try to attack once during the entire fight. So if he misses, then you never have to worry about this move for the rest of the fight. You're good. That's King Hippo.
Gravity, that was from 2017?
That was with the upgrade that I gave him this year.
Okay.
The 2017 version was... let me look at the 2017 version, actually, when I originally posted him. Oh, yeah. Originally posting him, he only had a jab attack, an uppercut, Hippo Squeeze, and Hippo Flop. That's all he had in 2017. He got a sizable upgrade this year.
Nice.
He also did not have the second phase.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And he also didn't really run around. He just stayed in place mostly. So he got a huge upgrade this year.
Yeah, I would say.
He was a joke when I first posted him, I guess. I'm glad I had the idea to remake him without realizing I was remaking him.
It'd be that way sometimes. Well, that was pretty cool.
That way.
Nice. Our first characterless little run through. Whatever we call this portion.
Showcase.
Showcases.
Smashtopia Showcase.
Like, whoa. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice little trip. I wonder if next time we'll be characterless as well and continue the streak.
Probably
I doubt
not. Probably not.
it. Let's make all of them characters next time.
No, that takes too much time. We have few rules on this podcast. Not very many rules, but one of our rules is we are limited to one character each on a showcase per episode. And if it's a character that takes a lot of explaining, like Mega Man.exe would have if I made him a showcase, then that's all you get. You only get that one character. You don't get a second. It's like, fuck you. No.
Yeah.
King Hippo is one that I'd like to make a character someday. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I got my eye on him.
Yeah, I feel you. There's a choice handful maybe that would be good.
The hard thing with Punch-Out. Yeah, the hard thing with Punch-Out is you either go for the obvious King Hippo choice, or you struggle for any other character. Because no other character is going to be easy. Yeah. There's a few that have more tools than others. Great Tiger is probably one of them. But beyond that, it's like, man, who the hell? How the hell?
Even then, Great Tiger would be difficult to make anything more than an Echo, really. With disappearing, I guess.
Yeah.
Teleportation.
I mean, any character, any of them, you have to invent stuff for. Even King Hippo, I invented a few things for him. But Punch-Out's rough. We need to get a new Punch-Out games to make it easier.
I'm surprised that they're so rare. Like, we can easily get a new one. It wouldn't be that difficult to develop.
We could have easily had one on Wii U.
Slap Donkey Kong back then there. Maybe a little Lord Frederick.
With Switch, I mean, I guess the Wii also had the nunchuck. But, like, one one hand per Joy-Con. It's easy.
And they already do it in games like Fitness Boxing or whatever on the Switch. Yep.
Exactly. And they've got the fucking ring from Refit Adventure that they could do something with. Yeah.
Nintendo does tend to jump at opportunities using their random equipment, so why not?
Yeah. That'd work.
Make it Labo connected.
Yeah. Yeah. Make it Mario Kart Home Circuit connected.
There you go. Better than Labo. It's pretty funny how Labo just is completely evaporated from anywhere and anything.
They both made more than I expected, and then it just died. It's like,
yep.
What happened?
Never even. It's like they would prefer if we don't even think about it or know that it exists.
Remember when Labo Man was one of the more popular picks people were saying for Smash Ultimate? It's like, yeah, we can get Labo Man, and now nobody talks about Labo Man.
So, that would be a great WTF choice, though.
It would have been.
Yeah,
it would have been.
Labo Man or Piranha Plant? Flash pull.
Labo Man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even now. Even now. So, Bandana Dee.
So,
the character we're doing.
Bandana Dee is a character we are doing today. Now, here's the thing about Bandana Dee. Let's just get this out of the way. Bandana Dee is a popular choice by the fans. That said, he's personally a character that you or I are particularly excited about. It's not that there's anything wrong with Bandana Dee. It's just that for you and I, there are several other Kirby characters that we would rather have instead. Adelaine, Marks, DeRoche, Susie, Dark Matter, Rick Kine, and Ku. Any of those characters, we would be like, hell yeah.
I'll take Bandana Dee before Magalork.
Yeah, I think that's probably the same. And like for me with Bandana Dee, like again, it's nothing against Bandana Dee. He's fine, but when you break it down, it's not like he is a Waddle Dee, and he's just using the spear ability. Well, that's not where I'm. It's just he's just using the spear ability. That's all he has. Like Marks isn't using the ball ability. Adelaine's not using the painter ability. It's the spear ability in a character, and that's what it is for me. I understand, he has his own charm and whatnot, but for me, not a character I'm super excited by. But when we were playing this season and we were looking at what franchises we hadn't done in a while or ever, or some popular character that we didn't have a moveset either by us or on the Smashtopia wiki at all, and we saw Bandana Dee, and we were just like, okay, he's not our favorite. He's not our pick. But we cannot deny that Bandana Dee is a fan favorite choice, not only amongst the Kirby franchise, but amongst the Smash franchise as well. When you ask somebody that's a Smash player what Kirby character they would want to see added next, majority of the time, the answer is going to be Bandana Dee. But you know what? We said, fuck it. Let's make Bandana Dee. Let's do it.
At this point, it's irrevocably this character is the fourth player character, and that's what it's being billed as. Even more so in Forgotten Land, he was the second player character.
I mean, yes.
Yeah. So it fits a bill, and I think that
Bandana Dee.
Yeah, it is. Even more so of a reason Bandana Dee's profile has been elevated recently. And personality-wise, I think he does have a little more oomph to him than, say, Blue or Yellow Toad anyways.
Blue and Yellow Listen, Blue and Yellow Toad are just way below. Way below. Toad himself is great, but they're just way below. Okay.
They're just random guys.
Yeah. It's like, why they did that for New Super Mario Bros. Wii? It's like, why? I understand Waluigi, Wario, their proportions would have been different. I get that. But then in Super Mario 3D Land, they gave us Peach and Toad. And then they gave us Rosalina when we beat the game. Now, granted, Peach is kidnapped in Mario Bros. Wii. Oh, no. But we could have unlocked her we could have unlocked her if we beat the game. That would have been fucking cool.
Yeah.
At least we got Peachette, right? Can be Peach. No, Peachette is in
Wii U. Or Switch.
No, Peachette. It's the Wii U or the Switch port of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Deluxe is what it's called. It's like Peachette. That's something that's never coming back. Like they're never. I think Nintendo saw their mistake with Bowsette. And it's like, nope.
Yep. May Bandana Dee never be sullied by such unscrupulous things.
Bandana Dee wearing the super crown.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be the day?
Banette. Wait, it becomes Banette. Oh no! All right.
That was unexpected.
Yeah, usually is.
Yep.
All
Guess
right.
we'll just dive into this guy.
Yes, let's do that. Entrance animation. Bandana Dee, what you got for me?
So Bandana Dee is like this amiibo of a Waddle Dee, but with a bandana. And
So he just
kind of
falls
wonder,
on his ass and like the little cloud stuff pops out.
that would have been a nice taunt. I didn't even think of that.
I thought you were saying that amiibo represents what your entrance animation is.
No, that would have been cute though.
I mean, you're right. It would have been.
Yeah, it's actually a lot less original than that, honestly. It's just, but it's per canon. I mean, it's something that he does. Bandana Dee flies in on a warp star like Kirby. He jumps off of it and his bandana droops over his face a little, so he readjusts it before he's ready to fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the amiibo option is better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I originally had written down something very similar to that, but instead of the warp star, he was just gonna kind of dive in with his spear and then he trip, ride himself over.
Yeah.
But what I actually replaced that with is Bandana Dee is gonna be trapped inside one of those Waddle Dee cages from Kirby in the Forgotten Land, and then he just swings his spear and breaks the cage open.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, let's workshop this. Bandana Dee falls from the sky and then makes this pose. Oh, I'm still going with the cage.
Okay. I mean, you could have sold me, but then you said, let's go to the cage. Like, all right. That's what's worked for me.
I feel like the cage is a stronger pick. It's a nice fake out. At first, I was thinking, why on earth would you have him in a cage? But
because those other Waddle Dees, they're not good enough to break themselves out. But Bandana Dee,
yeah, and
he may be a Goomba with a hat, but he's also a Goomba with a hat with a spear.
Dr. Goomba Stack?
No, stop it. Stop it. Thank you for having new material than your old material, but stop it. All right, Kirby hat. It's the bandana, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Done.
That's it.
Done.
Mm-hmm.
Love the Kirby hat. It's always a fun, easy time. Before we go into the hell that is taunt and victory poses.
Oh God.
Yeah. Start us off. What's your first taunt?
Bandana Dee
farts. The little cloud dust stuff from the Waddle Dee amiibo. It's perfect.
Bandana Dee takes his bandana off, wiping sweat from his brow before putting it back on.
Ew. I don't want to see the top of his head. That's disgusting.
Yeah, what would that look like?
I don't know. A void? My first taunt is Bandana Dee will raise the spear up in the air and then kind of just to wave high at the camera. It's like, hi, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a voice line, but I'm waving my spear high at you.
Nice.
Yeah, simple stuff. He's a simple character.
He is. I wonder if we could do something with this as a taunt. Have him trip over himself and fall back like this and then back up. That would be simple. Anyway, the one that I officially have written down, though, is Bandana Dee spins a spear over his head and then stamps it into the ground thumb.
Okay. My second one is Bandana Dee will pull out a Kirby burger that he got from the Waddle Dee Cafe, and he's just going to go, hum, yum, 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 yum. He eats it in 2 bites.
Nice.
Listen,
wow, I hadn't.
Forgotten Land is the best Kirby game.
Yeah.
It's also the only Kirby game that I have seen in its entirety.
It is definitely up there.
Yes.
The only one that I would say is if you want to do a 2D Kirby game, then it would be Robobot probably. But yeah,
that one up. So
it's really good.
But yeah, it's actually Forgotten is actually the only Kirby game that I've seen a full playthrough of. So
nice.
And I figured it's like, hey, this Bandana Dee is player 2. I think it's forgivable if I take a lot of ideas from Forgotten Land.
I think so as well, and you could possibly have more. There's a lot to do in Waddle Dee Town, so we will maybe get there.
There sure is.
Maybe there's going to be a Waddle Dee theater in the victory pose. Who knows?
I don't know. What's yours next top though?
Mine takes a little bit of levity from a Robobot era pose that calls back to like the Game Boy. So he's what is going on there?
Nothing.
He's so his frames become kind of stilted, more like a Game Boy era thing. And so he pokes his spear forward twice and then turns around and does it backwards and then upwards. This tribal Waddle Dee-esque
Oh, okay.
8-bit thing. Yep.
Tribal guy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, my third taunt has him take a spear and just gonna like scratch the side of his head.
Oh, God.
And that's it.
I hope it doesn't hurt.
That's literally it. That's all he does.
Nice.
All right. Victory poses. Hit me.
Okay, with what? Oh.
Ah!
Didn't think you'd get the D in your eye, huh?
Better not fucking bruise. God.
Waddle away. So victory poses, yeah. Speaking of Forgotten Land, I didn't go out of my way to describe all of what this is, but Bandana Dee performs a solo version of his victory dance from Forgotten Land.
Which is basically the Kirby victory dance.
Yeah, but there's one really special part where he shimmies he's like.
Is there actually?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's you. You could be fucking with me, and I wouldn't know.
No, there is, and there's a
Okay.
YouTube video at the top if you look up Bandana Dee victory dances, where it's like Bandana Dee's victory dance, but the best part is extended by 10 seconds.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my next one is actually not going to be from Forgotten Land. It's from his first appearance, Kirby Superstar.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's from the minigame Megaton Punch, where he is the first opponent Kirby faces in Megaton Punch. And this is actually a Sakurai game. So Sakurai did create Bandana Dee.
Cool.
A pair of stone slabs will be laying across the ground. From above, Bandana Dee. He falls from the sky. Fist pointed down as he slams into the stone slab, cracking them in half. And coincidentally, cracking the floor beneath them. He's gotten a lot stronger since those days.
Yeah. I think Kirby literally imploded Warp Star during that game.
Planet Popstar, yeah. After that minigame,
Popstar,
it zooms out to show all of Planet Popstar. That's just this giant crack.
Good times.
I consider referencing Megaton Punch a few different places in this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was consideration. It was considered for the entrance animation as well.
That would have been a good one too. Let's see. So my next one is a team of 3 Waddle Dees that look like this. They run towards Bandana Dee from all sides. So behind them, they're coming in.
From up in the air.
No, they're running from behind. They're running towards them.
Oh yeah,
but yeah.
But then they pick him up and they throw him in the air.
Yeah, they pick him up and throw him in the air 3 times. Oh, he's a jolly good fellow.
Yeah,
and then they just kind of carry him after that, and he's very happy.
That's good.
Yeah.
My second one has Bandana Dee twirl his spear.
Black
twirl
Mage.
His spear around him in a circle before he loses his grip and drops it. Bandana Dee then will pick a spear back up sheepishly.
Very good.
He's got tiny arms. He's not very finesse.
No, that's fair. That's fair. My final taunt, victory pose rather, is Bandana Dee sitting down in a cinema chair with popcorn. And he's eating the popcorn and spins around in the chair. A reference to the Waddle Dee cinema. And I was trying to workshop this. I didn't know if I wanted to place multiple chairs with other Waddle Dees in them. I just decided to keep it a little more simple.
All right.
Yep.
So my final one is a reference to the gotcha machines of Waddle Dee Town. So a gotcha machine will be next to Bandana Dee, as Bandana Dee, gives it a try. Puts the coin in, and a capsule will pop out. Bandana Dee will lift the capsule, and it will open up to reveal one of several possible prizes. These capsule prizes will include, but are not limited to, Kirby, Elf Villain, Bandana Waddle Dee, Carmouth Kirby, a Woofy, Warp Star, Maxim Tomato, Wise Waddle Dee, the Spaceship Wandaria, or Leongar.
And Taboo as well from Brawl. Okay.
No.
Nice. And then he just holds it over his head or something when it's...
Yeah. It's like the classic Zelda, you got a thing pose.
Yeah. Cool. But now we have to deliberate.
Yep. And we are fast tracking. He's a jolly good fellow.
Okay.
Just throwing that in there. We're fast tracking that one.
That's fine by me.
Yes.
That's fine by me. A few of these other ones are pretty simple. Some of them call back to actual games. So let's see. What are you thinking?
Kirby Burger.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I forgot about that. Yes.
Hell yes.
Easily the best taunt.
I considered, originally I was considering how it would be like one of 3 items, but there were only 2 items that made sense that you can get from the Waddle Dee Cafe. That one, the Carmouth Cake, and it was just those 2. Because I was just like, well, I can't make it be a maximum tomato because that's going to get confusing.
There were actually pop-up Kirby cafes like surrounding the release of this game too in Japan.
Yeah, there were.
Which it's like, I wish that Kirby were big enough here for this to happen.
I wish Nintendo loved America.
Yes, where probably 70% of all their sales come from. Would really be nice. I don't know. Reggie book. Something about it.
I need to read. I haven't had time yet.
Yeah, it's sizable. It is more than 50%. But anywho, so we're fast track Kirby Burger's a taunt. We fast track till he's a jolly good fellow. I think that those are easily the best of each, so that is cool. That works. Of the rest of them, mine. What were the victory poses on my end? Were the solo dance and the cinema. I think the cinema's a little weak because I didn't workshop it properly. Victory dance is just a victory dance. Which works, but it just depends on what else we do.
The victory dance one works. I would just need to look at like what that clip was to kind of like see, okay, here's exactly what it looks like. Because I remember watching that clip, and from what I could remember of it, it looks exactly like the Kirby dance that we have in every Kirby game. It didn't look to me like there was something individual from Bandana Dee that I could tell. But again, I'm not a huge Kirby expert, so I might be misremembering.
Yeah. I'll send you a link because it is it is different. It's a little different.
Okay.
And then on your end, there was Megaton Punch.
Yeah, Megaton Punch was one of my taunts. No, my victory poses rather. I also had him dropping the spear and then the gotcha machines.
That's right. I think Megaton Punch and the gotcha are both very strong victory poses. I think we could possibly go with both. I don't know if the victory dance is much needed. It is a big reference, but it's not necessarily necessary per se. And then let's see the taunts. Mine was just the Game Boy style thing because I was struggling to figure out anything else. Yours was the wave, which was very good, yes.
And then scratching his head.
And scratching his head. My other two kind of generic, honestly, ones were him spinning a spear over his head and stamping it into the ground, and then just wiping his head and putting the bandana back.
Arguably, mine are also generic, but
sure. The high is funny because it's like a rip of Kirby's, but without a soundbite. It's so yeah.
That's why I like that one.
Let's move it forward then.
Okay. Less work for me.
And then the question is, where do we go from here?
If I had to pick one of my victory poses to keep, it's Megaton Punch. Like that's my favorite of them.
Gotcha. Yeah, it is a good one. And On my hand, I think it's fine to move your scratching forward. I mean, scratching the back of his head with a spear too, because I mean, I think it's either that or wiping his brow at this point. And both.
And honestly,
yeah,
I don't want Bandana to take the bandana off because it's the one thing that makes him stand out. I don't think he should take it off.
That's true. Well, a spear also, not really.
I mean,
oh, there are actually spear wielding Waddle Dees actually.
Oh my god.
In the Kirby anime and in other media, like I swear, like in Dreamland 3 or something. just to help the situation along. So taunts are locked in.
Yeah,
we got taunts,
and we got 2 victory poses.
Mm-hmm. So now the last thing is, do we want to do the dance that is different than Kirby's, or do we want to do gotcha? One just feels like it's what would happen in the actual game, but one is more creative, and I think that's yours.
I mean, honestly, though, if the dance is different, I think we go with the dance.
Yeah.
I think that's more representative of Bandana Dee.
And I think that when you're including his high thing that rips Kirby, it feels a little weird to not have the dance. You know? Which, I mean, I like the gotcha mechanic quite a bit, but yeah, I think, yeah, because at this point, maybe we can attach a gotcha style thing to another character. But the dance
Fire Emblem Heroes?
Maybe so.
Genshin Impact?
Genshin Impact.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
Yeah. Yeah, all of the above. That's true.
Marvel Contest of Champions?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
All these and more you can have for just 99 cents each. Or buy them in a bundle of 20 and get a discount of 97 cents each.
I have indeed spent a little bit of money on Fire Emblem Heroes in the past, but not in a long time.
I got the pull for Black Knight in his Christmas alt lately, and he was the #1 alt I've been wanting for years. I was like, yosh. Only took me like 70 orbs. I have crazy luck with that game. When I want something, I tend to get it fairly easily. But Pirate Tabarn is my white whale. That motherfucker. He won't come home.
I'm gonna have to look this up. I forgot all about. Oh yeah, that's a cool design.
Yeah, fucking. There's also Pirate Nasala now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get Pirate Race on next year.
That would be the day. Pirate Nasala. Oh my god, that's a little tiny.
Should it be Pirate Race on, Pirate Raphael, or Pirate Leanne?
Good question.
I like Pirate Leanne.
That would be the most entertaining. Yes.
Yes. All right. Animations are decided on. It's time for the moves. Which, to be honest, I'm not expecting a lot of variety in our moves with this character. Kind of like with Gengar, I think we've got... Waddle Dee unless one of us decide to go kind of wild, Waddle Dee has some fairly well-defined things, so we'll see what the two of us did. Although
that he does.
I think the extra skill might be... I think we're going to differ there.
Probably
the rest of the moves, who knows? So, standard special.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
So, I'll start with these.
Mm-hmm.
So, for my standard special, it's, as I think most people would expect, it's the Waddle Dee, or the Waddle Spear throw. He throws his spear. Simple. But, to add a little bit to it, so it's not just throwing a spear, much like in the Kirby games, Star Allies, at least, tap the button rapidly, and he'll throw 3 spears. Up to 3 spears, rather, depending on how many times you tapped, which would all fly the same arc. You cannot charge to change the arc of the move. It's just there's a defined arc that he'll throw on. But if you do hold down the special button, then he will change the move slightly, where instead of throwing 1 spear and up to 3 right behind, up to 2 more right behind it, he'll instead throw 3 spears at once, that all fly in their own separate arc. Which is how we're Star Allies.
Yeah, that it is. And that's literally pretty much what I had down.
I figured. The only thing I thought there might be a variance of is if you decided to do altering the angle.
Mm-hmm. I did not. It's just waddle spear toss thing.
Yep.
It's the same move. It is literally the same move. So I think that could be fast tracked. Easy does it.
Same.
Yeah.
I said there wouldn't be a lot of variants, but my side special is actually something I invented.
Really?
Because I didn't like the options that I saw for what were possible side specials, because to me they just felt like normal attack combos or smash attacks. So it's just like, no. I call this Waddle Vault. Bandana Dee will take a spear, stick it in the ground, and vault jump.
Nice.
He will fling himself forwards in a vault jump. So he's just kind of like going on a sideways flying trajectory. Be careful using this near the edge of a platform, or you will go flying off of it.
Can you imagine that?
Yes, because I've played Wolf, and his side special does the same thing. But to add more to it, while you're flying through the air, you can press the special button again to have Bandana Dee throw his spear once. Because obviously, he's going to have the one at that point, and it will just fly in its own little trajectory, as always. If you do that, then Bandana Dee's not going to have his spear anymore until he lands in the ground, which can change up how this move ends. Because if you don't do that, then Bandana Dee's holding a spear, and if he lands, if he hits a character while he's in the jump, then he'll just like make impact with them with the spear. But if you throw the spear and he hits somebody, then you're going to do less damage on contact because you don't have your spear anymore. Mm-hmm. So you trade in the ability to do a jump and then a throw, but weaker damage if you were to land on something.
Good trade-off.
But the sphere could theoretically go even farther now, because now you're moving forwards in the air.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Nice little setup. I think that we are going to vary here in our moves, so that's actually good.
Hell yeah.
That's good, considering how fast the standard just went.
Yep.
Again,
it's a simple character, though. Like, this is expected. The majority, like, if you were to find somebody that legitimately said his standard special should be something other than Waddle Dee Spear, or Waddle Spear Throw, or whatever the fuck, I would be incredibly surprised.
Take them away.
Because it's the obvious choice. It makes the most sense.
But I know that we said that this moveset was going to be simple, and there would be a lot of different. There wouldn't be a lot of variation, but I did create something unique for my side special.
All right.
Because I saw some of the options that were available, and I thought these could just be standard attacks or standard combos.
Yeah.
I said,
like he has like a whole spear barrage thing. It's like, all right, that sounds like your infinite combo attack.
So my side special is called Waddle Vault. Just kidding. My side special is called Waddle Leap.
No! No! We were so close to being unique. Fuck!
But it actually is very different. It is very different. Yeah, he doesn't use his spear in the move. Not really.
To be fair, that was a last-minute addition for me.
Nice. Because this takes a little bit more improv from just the species itself.
Oh, no.
Waddle Dees hop around. It's one of the few things they do. Yes, indeed. And so, Bandana Dee performs a standard Waddle Dee style leap forward. So from one point to another, he's just like, eh. Initially, you may find this unimpressive.
Yeah.
However, and the leap does dish just meager damage. It's not a kill move. And it takes him about 3 Kirbys forward. And it's a light jump. So he's not really meaning to hurt anyone with the move, but he is meaning to pivot forward. If a projectile obscures the waddle leap, so say that he's leaping forward and a missile comes launching towards him, what will happen is he will sidestep the projectile and then grab onto it to vault forward, like he's holding onto the projectile and leaping forward further than he would have otherwise. This accounts for, blaster shots, the steel diver, shadow ball, a lot of different projectiles.
I'm sorry. How does he grab a blaster bolt and fucking leap with it? No.
We can workshop it, but use it right next to an opponent. Use it right next to an opponent, and Bandana Dee will move past them in a very similar manner, dishing out again meager damage while leaping further ahead. The move can be stacked multiple times. So in theory, Bandana Dee can infinitely stack the move if there's ability to. However, the move doesn't feature super armor, so it can be knocked around.
But not by a blaster bolt, which is pure energy.
Again, we can find ways to make it work a little better. So maybe it works on physical projectiles, works on missiles. Yeah, other things.
But probably not things that move instantly, like Joker's gun.
No. That's a little too fast.
Or
more obvious.
Revolver Ocelot's gun. Mm-hmm. He ain't gonna dodge that one.
No, but it's just a move to sidestep, and I don't know if I needed to make it more powerful or anything.
Bandana Dee grabs the bullet from Revolver Ocelot's gun, and he ends up getting ricocheted alongside it.
If only.
If only. Okay, alright. Cool.
I don't know if maybe it should deal counter damage or what, but there you go.
I mean, if he's bringing the projectile with him and he can hit an opponent, I feel like the damage that he's going to impact him with is going to be enhanced by the projectile.
Oh, yeah, but I had intended for him to just leap past it and just let it go, like just keep going.
Oh, I thought you said he grabs the projectile.
Yeah, he just kind of leapfrogs off of it.
Okay, that's not what I understood. I thought you were saying he jumps, grabs projectile, and just keeps going. It's like, what? What is this? That's some shenanigans. It's like, no.
No, he just sidesteps it essentially.
Okay. He sidesteps it while fucking
leaping further ahead. It's just a really...
He can't jump off a fireball. Or a staff weapon shot.
No, it's a horizontal recovery / evasion move, essentially.
Okay.
Maybe he can pocket the projectile. And throw it. And then...
No pocket.
And there was another ability.
Oh god, I just remember Villager can pocket the energy projectiles. Villager is weird, though.
Isn't Bandana Dee? He's a water dude with a hat.
But he's not known for putting things in pockets and pulling them out later. He's not known for that. Villager is known for that. No. Up special. Mine is probably the same as yours. Waddlecopter.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Spins his spear above his head, and he kind of flies like a helicopter. You can tilt the control stick to angle the flight, and his spear can hit multiple enemies if they're from below. In Forgotten Land, while he's doing this, he can also have spears fall below him. That's not happening in the subspecial, though. That's too much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That didn't happen to mine either. I just had it so that if you charge it, you can go faster and further, and the normal thing.
Yeah, I have no charge for this. I don't think it needs it.
All right. I was just thinking Link Spin has one, so I would give one to him.
Link Spin does, but it's only on the ground.
True.
Yeah.
Do we want to give it to hit Bandana Dee on the ground?
No. No.
Fine. Okay.
All right. And then your special is just Waddlecopter. So down special time, right?
Yep.
It's the return of Megaton Punch.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I figured it can be in both spots. I don't care. I wanted to reference Kirby. I wanted to reference his first appearance. So for the down special, Bandana Dee will crash straight down and punch whatever's beneath him. But little extra property here. For a couple things. First of all, if he hits the ground or some kind of platform, it's going to shake around him, kind of like, DK's hand slap. He's shaking the ground around him. So it's going to have a little bit of that effect because he got powerful. He just punched the fucking ground. Additionally, the damage is increased based on how far he fell down while using the move. So if you just use it on the ground, he just does like a short hop to attack, it ain't going to be powerful. But if he's up here at the top of the screen and he falls down to the bottom, shit's going to hurt.
Oh, yeah.
You allowed him to gain momentum. That was a mistake.
Cool. It's like Wario's butts ground pound in Wario Land. Nice.
Sure?
Yeah. Yep.
Eventually I'll get around to watching Wario Land.
Lovely series. Okay, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Arguably cooler than mine, to be honest with you, but we'll get to maybe some more references to make a ton punch in a bit. But for now, my down is Waddle Beam.
Is this water or alcohol? I think you just said Waddle Beam.
Yeah, I did. Yes.
No, it's water. I'm confused.
Okay, so Waddle Dee transforms his spear into a beam. He lays it on the ground and sets it out in front of him and stands on it. And the more that you are able to balance on the beam, so you're able to gently walk back and forth, you will heal. But you can be knocked off at any time. So you'll heal like 2 to 3% damage per step.
Couple questions.
Yeah.
One, are you serious?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay, so the actual function of the move
because I thought he pulls up the beam from the Waddle Doos, right? The beam weapon?
No, he holds his spear over his head, and he treats it like a beam that you would crawl, like limbo under.
No, he doesn't.
No, it is indeed taking a page from the Waddle Doo playbook, and his spear transforms into the beam rod, and he can charge it up into 3 different attacks. With no charge, it's a standard beam whip. We all know how it works. Charge 2 is a cycle beam that hits multiple times from multiple angles. We know how that works because it's also canon. And Charge 3 is a large projectile ball of electricity that can travel as far as Samus's charge beam with about similar damage output. Also canon. So it's all just canon moves because we will not get Waddle Doo playable anyway.
Bandana Waddle Doo. I'm just waiting for it. I'm waiting for it.
Imagine that.
I'm surprised this isn't the extra skill because this sounds like an extra skill type move.
Yeah, I have an extra skill in mind.
Well, I'm sure you do. But before we can get there, we got to get to the final smashes. And mine is 5 words long. I give you the Super Waddle Copter Rain Ultra. You see where that name inspiration came from? Kirby Superstar Ultra.
Yeah.
I was like, because it's Waddlecopter Raid, but I didn't want to just call it Waddlecopter Raid. It's like Super Waddlecopter Raid. It was like, oh, wait, what if I throw Ultra at the end of that? It's the move I'd mentioned about from Forgotten Land, where when he's doing his Waddlecopter move, spears will rain down and take anything below him. So for this, Bandana Dee, he's going to fly up to the top of the screen, and his spear is going to become massive. He's just going to spin it above his head. And then spears will start just falling down from below. Simple enough. It's essentially like a laser beam final smash, just going straight down. You cannot angle it. It's just the constant spears are falling.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. About how much of the ground did that cover? Like Battlefield?
Not all of Battlefield. No. I would say probably 1/3 to 1/2.
Okay. Cool. So it's
Sizable.
definitely it's like Samus's laser beam essentially.
Yeah,
But
it's like same slavery. It's like Lucario's or a storm or whatever the fuck it's called, or a beam something.
Yeah.
It's like those just being pointed straight down.
I was gonna say it's static, right? Like you don't angle it or
No,
anything. It's just
no angling.
okay.
It's just
Okay.
always,
Okay.
and it's going to be positioned like where he was standing. That part straight up. So it's not going to be
Yeah.
center of the screen always.
Yeah.
So if he's on like the
There's-
tail end, it's going to be focused on the tail end.
Yeah. So you can add some strategy to it.
Yeah.
Because if you catch opponents in it, it's going to be really hard to get out of it.
Yes.
So okay, cool. Love the name. There. My final smash. I mean, this is probably very unsurprising. It's Megaton Punch.
Okay. Actually, before you mention that, I want to say I Megaton Punch was my original idea for a final smash, but I moved it to the down special because I couldn't think of anything else to be down special. So what I was going to do with Megaton Punch, it was going to be cinematic, and he's going to again, fall from below to punch them and just like ruin their fucking day. Then when the punch hits, the camera's going to zoom out to show a planet shaped like the Smash Ball that had a giant crack in it, like the warps, like Planet Popstar and Megaton Punch. That's what I was going to do originally.
Wouldn't that be funny if that were exactly what I had in mind?
Is it?
No. No. I actually decided to go non cutscene.
Okay.
So non cutscene for this one, just to try and switch things up a little, because I know that Smash, especially in Ultimate, and some of the stuff that we do is very cutscene heavy.
So some things work best as cutscenes, but when we cannot, it's nice to do it not.
Yeah. And I think Megaton Punch would work just fine as a cutscene. And then there's things that you miss by not making it a cutscene, like that final pullback. Yeah. But nonetheless, my version of Megaton Punch or the Final Smash. Bandana Dee hurls himself forward. So there is an initiating kind of beatdown occurring here. So he hurls himself forward and tackles whoever, and they get caught into the center stage while he dishes down like a wrestling style beatdown on these characters.
Mm-hmm.
He's elbowing them and jumping on them with his head straight down, just whatever.
He's pulling
stabbing and slapping them. Yeah, but then, but as you're watching this occur, you're seeing his megaton meter fill up. So one quickly fills up, and then the second quickly fills up, and then finally the third fills all the way up. And at this point, his eyes are gleaming with gusto, and he unleashes his powerful megaton punch, just leaps into the air and drives straight into the ground onto his foes. Those hit with the punch head on, that's serious damage and knockback, to the point that if you have a certain amount of damage when you get into contact with this move, you can kiss yourself goodbye.
Not because it's an instant skill, but because I'm assuming like Zoroark, the Pokeball Zoroark, when he hits you with a final hit, you go straight down, but you bounce up typically. I'm assuming that's what's happening here. So you can go above the blast zone.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
And then, but then a wave of energy emerges from this blast side as well. So where Bandana Dee punches down, there are energy waves that are kind of vertically tilted that are traveling in either direction, and I have it written down. They travel about a 3/4 the way of Battlefield. The waves deal more damage the closer to this site that they are. So if you're very close to this to his punch site, then you're going to be dealt heavier damage than if you're dealing with waves that are further away. So the waves measure in height from about as tall as a giant Donkey Kong, which I may work out to be smaller. How about as tall as Ridley standing up, to as small as Olimar.
Pretty small.
There you go. Yep.
Clarifying questions. These rays, are they hitting other people that are nearby? Is that what they're used for?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And what is their flight path? Like, say we're on Final Destination, the character got here. Because when I was hearing you say it, my thought was the rays. Okay, like they're shooting kind of upwards in like a V, because it's impact. V goes out from the impact, or are you saying like they are spreading out from the impact site horizontally?
They're spreading out from the impact site, so it's larger, and then
they fade out. Okay. Okay.
yeah,
I
yeah.
gotcha.
So you do kind of have that initial V. That
So
looks
the initial V probably does hit up, but then it starts to go down.
yeah,
Okay.
starts to peter out. Mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
There were a million ways that you can actually. There's
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of different ways you can approach this move. One, you could just. I was thinking as I was talking this out, I was like, why did they make? There's a room to say, why did you make it so complicated? You could have them just punch into the damn ground.
Yeah, my thought process would have just been like to have like the energy shoot up to get anything else that was also kind of like up there in that area.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking you could do it this way, or you can have it just be again a quicker punch into the ground wherever he's standing.
Yeah, but I like the
Be done with
build
it.
up that it has for it though. If it didn't have that build up, I honestly would think this is kind of boring. But with the build up, I think it's nice.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Extra skill.
Extra skill.
Okay.
I call mine Star Allies.
Holy cow.
So one of the big gameplay features of Kirby Star Allies, besides the fact that you can have allies of these different enemies and characters working with Kirby, is the elemental system, where some character or whoever will like hold up a weapon, such as Bandana Dee's spear, and then a friendly enemy will breathe their element onto it and gain it some kind of property. Yeah. There are 5 elements in Star Allies. Blizzard, Bluster, Sizzling, Splash, and Zap. And so, I decided, let's make use of this. With the extra skill, you can choose what element you want to acquire in a manner similar to Shulk and his Monado arts. And then an appropriate enemy will appear next to Bandana Dee, breathe on his spear, and for the next 5, 7, 8 seconds, somewhere, some kind of seconds range, his spear toss will gain a buff to it. Only the spear toss, nothing else. Because I didn't want to do like we've done with some characters we've made and have to make an upgrade for all the specials, because then we have movesets being mixed and it's hard. Like Takamaru.
For the spear copter or the super thing?
No, this is only for the standard special.
Okay, cool.
So with Blizzard, a chili will appear next to Bandana Dee. And now whenever the spear throw is used, there is a small chance to freeze the opponent. Pretty much standard with the Ice and London Smash. For Bluster, a Birdon will appear and will give the spears a property that they have a win box on hits. So they're going to do less. Probably not going to do like much more damage, if anything. Additionally, like everything is supposed to be like an additional little bit of elemental damage. So Ice Element on the Blizzard, obviously, and then win with Bluster. But this for Bluster, it's going to be more focused on the win box. So you're just kind of like pushing enemies away when you hit them with the spear instead of trying to hurt them. With Sizzling, a Burning Leo will appear. And if the spear hits anything on contact, it's going to be a small little burst of flame as an AoE. For Splash, a Dribbly will appear. And the spear will have the property of leaving a small water trap if it hits the ground. And opponents that try to run through the water have an increased chance to trip in the water. And then for Zap, a Plug will appear next to Bandana Dee, which will give spears a piercing effect, where hey, the lightning is making them zip through things. So it's like, oh, we hit Pearl, we're gonna keep on going and hit Steve, who's right behind her, instead of just stopping on impact.
Nice.
And that's Star Allies. I figured if there's any character that can actually because I did Marks, who kind of had a little bit of this. Like one of his moves has a water property on it by default, but there's nothing that's like changing the properties because of the whole Star Allies mechanic. And Bandana Dee, I think it worked for because hey, he's got a weapon, and the majority of characters actually pretty much every other character in Star Allies either has their own already defined whole moveset, and giving them a property like this wouldn't really work too well, or they are the generic enemies who are giving these properties.
Yeah.
So I thought it worked for Bandana Dee.
It does. That's a pretty cool thing. So for mine, I just have him using this parasol. He just uses his parasol. And that makes me sad to follow up after that. Bandana Dee raises his parasol around his body, and It's a protecting move, so you can absorb up to 50% damage before it breaks. You can use it once per stock.
I'm once again I feel like you've mixed up your down special and extra skill. These should be reversed.
They could be.
This is a defensive move.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Why is this not your down special?
I don't know. I don't know. Bandana Dee can also use the parasol as an attack item, though. If you tilt around the control stick while you're using it, you can try to catch an opponent with the parasol instead. And if that happens, they become balanced on the parasol in your idle stance. And while they're balanced on top, they will gleefully spin around just a little bit while being dealt 1% damage per second. But then Bandana, you can toss them upwards, you can toss them downwards, or to his left or right, and perform a action toss, little heavier than his normal throw.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's time to pick the moves. I have thoughts, but I want to hear what you think first.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I think our final smashes are fairly evenly matched, and they hit different areas of literally different areas.
Yeah.
Like the Megaton Punch, it has this initial spot that you're hitting that's very pronounced, and then it varies outwards kind of in a downwards arc. Whereas your
Super Wattlecopter Rain Ultra.
It hits a very specific but broad area. So there are different uses for this, and they're both rather. Yeah.
I was also going to mention that when I had my Megaton Punch Final Smash, I was going to call it the Super Megaton Punch.
You know what? Why not? With Super Megaton Punch Ultra.
Yes.
Let's go for that. Let's go. So Super Wattlecopter Ultra thing and Super Megaton Punch Ultra.
Yeah.
Then I think that our down specials, your Megaton Punch certainly works in that position. Obviously, if we went with a Final Smash Megaton Punch, we're not going to have a down special Megaton Punch.
You say that, but I propose both Wattlecopter and Super Wattlecopter Rain Ultra.
That's also true. And
then you look at Diddy Kong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. True. Of the down specials, I'm just going to say Parasol Protect is a down special at this point. Extra Skill is obviously Star Allies. I think that's the best move to go with. Spear Tosses are Fast Tracked. The Waddle Spear, rather. Wattlecopter is Fast Tracked. Obviously, they're literally both the same moves that we did. So we're dealing with a down special that's either Megaton Punch, Parasol Protect, or Waddle Beam. Of Parasol Protect and Waddle Beam, I think the Parasol might be stronger because it's something that Bandana Dee can actually use in the games. Some of them, anyway. And Waddle Dees have used, whereas the Beam is Mr. Do.
I mean, we are talking about the Waddle Do's and Waddle Don'ts.
Yes, we are. Very, very astute, my friend. The side is where things get really strange because those are both are unique moves, and for those reasons, I think we might be attached to both of them. And I think that yours is immediately literally more understandable than mine, like from a function standpoint. Mine, I think, could work, and it has. I don't imagine Bandana Dee as a character that's going to have as many jumps as Kirby. So maybe having.
Well, we'll get there. I have notes on that.
So do I. So a horizontal recovery wouldn't be.
I mean, both of ours are horizontal recoveries.
Also true, yeah. So that's interesting. But yeah, I think extra skill, Star Allies, down special, Parasol or Megaton, and we kind of just go from there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my thoughts. Standard special, Waddle Dee throw. Or Waddle Spear throw. Fuck. Side special, to be determined. Up special, Wattlecopter. Down special, Waddle Beam.
Boy.
Final smash, Super Megaton Punch Ultra. extra skill star allies.
Okay.
That's a thought I had. Because I really like that your Megaton Punch, the way you laid it out for the final smash. And I'm not opposed to Beam. Taking it from Waddle Dee or from Waddle Doo, that's a very Smash thing to do. Hello, look at Zelda having the goddess spells that Link uses at Ocarina of Time. Look at fucking Gandorf having Captain Falcon's that. Look at Ness. Look at Lucas. This isn't unusual, and I could see this working out.
Yeah. Okay. True. Okay, so...
And then between Waddle Vault and Waddle Hop, Waddle Jump, Waddle Sidestep, and Catch and Toss the Missile, whatever it's called, Waddle Catch a Ride, I don't know. I know that one confused the fuck out of me, as you could tell. I like the visual of Waddle Vault more.
Yeah. You can make the argument that it uses Spear, and Spear is centric to Bandana Dee's character.
You certainly could.
Yeah. So what
I came up with him doing a vault jump.
Yeah.
It's a vaulting leap.
Yeah. Waddle leap I can put on another character one day. What unfortunate soul that is, we'll find out.
Screamtail.
Screamed. I mean, yes. Yeah, one of these fucking days. I gave a similar move to Marth. I think it was his extra skill, and I think it worked fairly well there. Yeah, it was pivot from heroes. But here, yeah.
I think that kind of works here, though.
Yeah, I agree. Being a fencer, it works. Waddle leap. So let's see. So you're proposing Waddle Spear, Waddle Vault, Waddle Copter, Waddle Beam, and then what was the final smash again?
Super Megaton Punch Ultra.
Okay, that's fair. And then Star Allies.
Yeah.
All right, that works for me.
All fucking right. Hell yeah.
And now to the other skills, I take it.
Now to the other skills. You mentioned having multiple jumps, and I looked into this. Kirby and Meta Knight both have 5 jumps in the air in Smash. King Dedede has 4. It's like, oh, I didn't realize he had less than that. So in my mind, I'm just like, I don't think Bandana Dee can do as much as those 3. So I decided to give him just 3.
I did the same, but then I said he can glide with his parasol.
I did not do that.
Like Princess Peach.
I did not do that.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? How does that make you feel?
Are you legitimately asking me if I think he should have the parasol for gliding? Or are you just being weird?
No, I'm asking.
Okay, because you asked it weird.
I'm fine either way, but I think it's just something you see referenced rather often in the Bandana Dee community.
Yeah, since considering that there is a whole species of Waddle Dees called, Parasol Waddle Dee that does do that, and we're already giving him Waddle Dee's beam weapon, I'm not opposed to it.
True. All right. Parasol it is.
And he's going to be a lightweight character, so...
Yeah, that's true. Screamtail can also...
Screamtail can use their tail to grab onto missiles and then ride with them and then throw them. But not blaster bolt shots. Or fireballs.
I wonder what the likelihood of a Screamtail Echo would be.
I wonder how what?
I wonder what the likelihood of a Screamtail Echo in Smash would be.
None.
Why is that? Because it's too unique?
The tail.
True. Okay, well, its own character it is.
Yep.
Just like Isabelle.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, we got 2 more things to talk about from Bandana Dee. One, the alts. So, for mine, I actually considered not changing the bandana's color originally. But then I was like, let's go ahead and make a change. Because I looked it up, and apparently, I can't remember which game. I think it's Canvas Curse. There are multiple Bandana Dee's alts in that game. And the bandana changed colors. Like, all right, cool. There's precedent for it. We'll go for it. But that said, for all of mine, I decided to base the color scheme of both the bandana and the outer orange, the darker orange color of his body, based off of different enemies slash copy abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided to put a little drawing on the bandana, kind of like how for King Dedede, his little like sash area, there'll be like little pixel art on some of the alts. Like there's Waddle Dees, I think, on one of them. I was like, let's do something with that. So I have like bandanas that have little art of Blade Knight, Flamer, Chili, Jab Hog, Wheelie, the Biospark, Broomheader, Gao, the animal ability enemy, and Dribbly. And then the colors are based off of either those enemies or the ability that they give.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay, I actually went with something similar, but I went with some primary Kirby characters in the mix as well. So like I have a King Dedede one with where Bandana Dee is red with a gold bandana and with the peace sign symbols all over it, or one based off of Marks where he is purple and has a red bandana with yellow stars on it, or a Waddle Doo one with where Bandana Dee has a dark orange like beam symbols on his bandana. A Gordo one where he is like black and white with Gordo symbols to match. A Kirby one. That'll get confusing, actually.
Yeah, the whole reason I was like copy ability enemies with mine is because, as mentioned, Bandana Dee is the spear ability. He just is. So I thought it makes sense to like pay tribute to other copy abilities and enemies, because that's what he essentially is.
That's a good idea. And I do have a paint roller one here speaking to that's multicolored with a bunch of ink splats on it that I rather like. That was pretty neat. But yeah, there you go. Cool ideas.
All right.
Home stage, I mean, come on.
Oh, you think it's obvious?
Yes.
What do you think it is?
Waddle Dee Town.
Oh, interesting, because that's not what I wrote down.
Really?
Yep. I did write down something from Kirby and the Forgotten Land, though.
Okay.
But I wrote down what to me was a standout world from the game. And if I could pick just one stage from Forgotten Land, this is what I would want to see, and that's Windaria.
Okay.
The amusement park. I think that'd be a really cool stage. I think it's either like a traveling or transforming stage, kind of showing off different areas and the different levels. But I know one big feature for one of the parts of it needs to be the Ferris wheel, and I kind of imagine it being behind the main platform, and there would be these little platforms that are like a Ferris wheel. It's always kind of like spinning, but since it's technically behind the main platform, you cannot stay in the Ferris wheel forever because it will bring you back to the main platform no matter what.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair. I mean, my Waddle Dee town would be like there's Waddle Dees there, and they're going to the movies and eating the hamburger. I think it's a fairly obvious stage to smash. I think, and then you would just be fighting on the rooftops of various buildings. It wouldn't have the pizzazz of Windaria. So yeah, if you have a fleshed out idea for it and you want to go for it, fine. Yeah, Windaria works.
I have a fleshed out idea of the Ferris wheel. The rest of it, I would have to rewatch some footage for. But that's not hard to do. Welcome to the internet.
Oh, and I think that's the closest we would ever get to a Balan Wonderland stage, so.
Oh, shit!
Oh, I'm sorry that I just said that to myself.
Woo! Shots fired to Square Enix and Balan Wonderworld, which flopped on release. I mean, the trailer looked interesting, but that's the thing, though. Cinematic trailers don't tell you shit. We need to see that gameplay. We need to see the UI.
How far?
Otherwise, we don't know how the game plays.
How far certain developers have fallen?
How far certain Sonic developers have fallen with insider trading.
Got to go to prison fast.
Yeah, twice. He did it twice. It's like, you stupid motherfucker. God damn it.
Yeah, unfortunate.
But yeah.
Unfortunate.
All right, so
there we go.
What were we saying for home stage? Windaria or Waddle Dee Town or fucking Green Greens?
Oh. Only if it's fucking green greens would I go for that. Perfect. Is Wispy Woods there? Oh,
It's
no.
not just Wispy Woods.
Yeah.
Tropical Woods is there too.
Those trees sure can blow.
They can.
Well, yeah, Windaria. Let's just go for that. It's a little it's a little more off the beaten path. It looks more interesting.
Yeah, and I figured since he's the second main character in that game, giving a stage that's like not direct, like home stages, the whole concept behind them. It's not necessarily something that needs to be directly tied to the character every time. Just something that you can look at and be like, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah. And as for Bandana Dee, I think that Waddle Dee Town can live again once you make the Waddle Dee moveset.
I think you mean the Waddle Dee Cafe Manager moveset.
Yeah, that would be fine. Although Chef Kawasaki exists.
Chef Kawasaki on the Waddle Dee Town.
Yeah. There you go.
All right.
I can't wait.
I'm not surprised. This one came out fairly easy. I think anybody would have expected this. We still had some moments though.
That just comes with the territory of doing this show.
Yep. Yeah. We've got our animations. We've got our moves. There might be a little debate on the alternate costumes, but you know that always tends to fall to whoever puts these on the wiki, which is almost always me. But yeah, you know it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Waddle Leap will live again.
In the Waddle Doo moveset.
Maybe so.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
Well, I think we can close this one up. Next time on Supercast Brothers, it's a Smash or Dash, our third one of the season. Who will be joining Naho Beno, Rindug, Rampage, and Quote and Curly in the eventual Tournament of Champions for?
That's a damn good question. I don't even know off the top of my head.
All I'll tell you about what's going to be in the next one, it's Battle of Pirates, it's Battle of Ninjas. Who will come out on top? I don't know. We haven't filmed it yet. I don't know.
True.
We'll see.
That's actually true.
All right. With that, my bandana's off to you.
Damn, I should have had some bandanas.
It would have been great to have as a prop for this whole episode.
But
unfortunately, we've ran out of time for you to show off your bandanas. Goodbye, everyone.
Next time.